All right, welcome back to Genius. So this will be the last operators we are going to be talking about. This is not, it's not that we have actually covered all the operators in details, but as we go on, we'll be talking about them. We still have some like the membership operator, the assignment operator. Okay, so we may still, as we go on, we'll be talking about them. Okay, so now the logical operators in Python. Okay. In Python, they are used to combine conditional statements. Look at the definition here. They are used to combine conditional statements. That means you can use it to combine one or more conditional statements. Okay, you know what a conditional statement is. Any expression that evaluates to true or false. When you say x is greater than y, or x is less than or equal to y, do you understand? Or x is equal to y. Okay, so those are conditional statements. So when you have multiple conditional statements, you will use these logical operators to combine them. Okay, so let me show you. Let's go to code. Let me show you. I will take you to the website. All right. So we say they are used to combine conditional statements. So if I have something like x is equal to 10, y is equal to 20, okay, and a is equal to 8, and b is equal to 7, I can combine, I can do something like this. I can say result is equal to, I can say x is greater than y, okay? And do you understand? And A is equal to B. So I have two conditional statements here because this is a conditional statement. This is a comparison statement. It's actually a conditional statement. So this will return true. This one would also return true or false. Sorry, it will return a Boolean as true or false, and this one can also return true or false. So when you have multiple conditions like this, all right, you can combine them with logical operators. Okay, we can combine them with logical operators. So you can see we have this conditional statement, we have this statement, we have this statement, and we are combining all of them with these logical operators. Okay, so these operators, they return Boolean values based on the logical relationship between the operands. So if I run this code now, okay, if I run this code now, the result of logical operators are always true or false. They are always Boolean values. So if I try to run this now, we would always get either a true or a false. Okay, so no matter whatever the expression evaluates to, okay, it will always be a Boolean value. So if I run this now, we are going to get either true or false. So logical operators would always result to Boolean values, true or false. Okay, so let's take a look at type of logical operators. The first one we have is the AND operator. All right. The way you write AND that is the operator. Now, the AND operator in Python is a logical operator used to evaluate multiple conditions. Okay. You can see we have multiple condition is you evaluating more than one condition. So what we have here, okay, we have this and this. I could also take this one back to AND. Okay, this is the AND operator, the AND logical operator. We are using it to evaluate multiple conditions. Okay, so it returns true if both conditions are true. Otherwise, it returns false. So let me just take this, let me just limit it to just two conditions. So we have two conditions here. We have the one on the left and we have the one on the right. Okay. This AND operator would return true if this one evaluates to true. All right. And this one also evaluates to true. So two of them must be true for this AND operator to return true. X is greater than Y. It is false because 10 is not greater than 20. So this is false. And since this is false, the condition says that both of them has to be true for and to return true. So since this one is false, definitely we'll get it as the result will be false. All right. Two of them for the AND operator to return true, right? The both operands, all the operands involved must evaluate to true. So that's what we are talking about here. So it returns true if both conditions are true, otherwise it will return false. So look at this, condition 1 and condition 2. That's what we have just done. S equal to S greater than Y, A, and A less than B or whatever. So we have two conditions. The first condition on the left-hand side, the right condition on the right-hand side. Okay. So if both condition 1 and condition 2 are true, the result is true. Okay, if both of them are true, the result will be true. But we are getting false here because both of them are not true. None of them is even true because S is not greater than Y, right? And A is not equal to B. So none of them is even true. So that's why it's returning false. But if we say X less than Y and A greater than B, look at it. If you evaluate S less than Y, what would it give you? Is S less than Y? Yes, 10 is less than 20 to give you true. Then it will now come to the second one and evaluate the second condition. Is A greater than B? A is 7, A is 8, B is 7. So both of them will return true. So because both of them are returning true, if you run this code now, you're going to get true. It will return true because both of them are true. If any of them, if I now take this thing back and say A is equal to B, S is less than Y, which is true, but A is not equal to B, which is false. So since one of them is false, as long as one of them, when you're using the AND operator, as long as any of the conditions is false, it will always return false. For it to return true, both conditions will be true. So right now we are going to return, it's going to return false because one of them is false. All right. So if either condition 1 or condition 2 is false, the result will be false. So this is how the AND operator operates. So now I want to show you something we call the truth table. All right. Those in computer science would actually teach you this when they are talking about logic gates and stuff like that. They will teach you truth table. But let me show you the truth table of this AND operator. If condition 1, either expression 1 or expression 2, condition 1, condition 2, whatever you call it, okay, if expression 1 or condition 1 is true and expression 2 or condition 2 is true, the result will be true. But if condition 1 is true and condition 2 is false, the result will be false. If condition 1 is false and condition 2 is true, the result will be false. And if both of them are false, the result will be false. So you can see that in this truth table of this AND operator, the only time you will get true is when both expressions or both conditions are true. That's when you get true. So this would guide you. Once any of the conditions in the when you're working with the AND operator, once any of the conditions is false, the result will be false. Once any of them is false, the result will be false. But if both of them are true, yeah. So let me give you a scenario where you use this thing. Let's say you want to go out, you want to go to school. Then the condition that you will go to school is this. If it is not raining, all right. Okay, let's say somebody invites you to their party. All right. Then the condition that they must meet is this. If it is not 9 p.m., if it is not later than 9 p.m. and it is not raining. So if any of them is false, that means you're not going. Both of them have to be true. So if the party is in the night, you're not going. All right, because you said you don't want it to be in the night. So if the party is in the morning, you're going. If the party is in the morning and it is not raining, the party is in the morning or in the afternoon, it is not dark, all right? It is not dark, it is not raining, you will go to the party. But if any of them becomes false, if any of the condition is not met, you're not going. All right. It's just like before, some schools will say before you write your exam, you must first of all pay your school fees and pay maybe your departmental fee. Do you understand? So you must pass those two conditions for you to write the exam. You must pay school fees, you must pay departmental fee. If you have not paid any of them, that means one of them becomes false. So you're not going to write the exam. Okay, that is where we use the AND operator. That's how we use the AND operator. Okay, so what is the basic usage of the AND? See, the first one is x equals to 10, y equals to 5. So we are saying if x is greater than 5 and y is greater than 2, both conditions here are true, so it will return true. That's basically the example we have already seen. Okay, both conditions being true, s is greater than 5 because s is 10 and s is greater than 5. Then the second expression is y is greater than 2 because y is 5, so y is greater than 2. So both of them are true. That means it will return true. The one is when one condition is false. If one condition is false, remember it will return false. So x is greater than 5, which is true, but the second expression or condition says y is greater than 10. 5 is not greater than 10, so this will return false. So because one of them has become false, the result will be false. When both of them are false, there is no need. Once both of them are false, go back to the truth table to see. Once any of them is false or both of them are false, it will return false. Okay? Now, there's something we call the short circuit evaluation. Python evaluates expressions from left to right. Okay? So if the first condition is false, when you're working with the AND operator, if the first condition is false, Python does not evaluate the second condition again because the result is already false. Remember, for the AND operator to return true, both conditions must be true. So there is no need. Once the first condition is false, Python doesn't go on to check the second condition because Python already knows that it's going to be false. So this is what we call short circuit evaluation. If you're working with the AND operator, once Python checks that the first condition is false, it will return false because there is no need checking the second one, because even though the second one is true, it's of no need, all right, because the first one has become false and everything will definitely be false. All right, so the AND operator can also work with non-Boolean values. Remember, we have just been looking at the conditions, and the conditions we have been working with are Boolean values. But Python can also, in Python, the AND operator does not always return true or false. It can also return their operand. So look at something like this. If the first operand is falsy, it will return it, okay? Otherwise, it return the second operand. Let me show you in code. Okay, look at this. I will say x and y. Look at what Python is going to do here. There's something we call truthy value and falsy value. Okay, falsy value is when you say false. These are falsy values. Okay, falsy values. These values I'm going to type now will result to false. 0, empty string, empty list, empty tuple, all right? None will be false too. What else? Okay. Now, all these values, all right, when Python convert them to their Boolean equivalent, they will be false. That is why we say they are false values. So truthy value is anything other than all this thing I'm talking about. If a number is not 0, if it is greater than 0, it is a truthy value. If a string contains something inside of it, it's not an empty string, it's a truthy value. Okay. If a list contains some elements, it is a truthy value. So now Python is not what we are giving Python just values here. We are not giving it conditional expression that we evaluate to true or false. So Python will convert this guy to truthy value or falsy value. So x is 10. That means 10 is truthy because 10 is not 0. All right? Y is also truthy because y is not 0. So if I run this code now, Python is going to return y. This result now will become 20. All right? It will give us 20. Now look at what Python is doing. If the first operand, if you're working with AND operator, okay, in this, like this, okay, I can even make it, I can say 2 and 5, or 2 and 6. So what Python will do is this. Python will check, is this one truthy? Is the first one truthy? If it is truthy, all right, Python will go on and return the next one. That is why it's going to return 6. Because the first one is true T, it will return the second operand. But if the first operand is falsy, 0 is falsy. So since it is falsy, Python does not go on to check the other one. So Python will return 0. This can be tricky, all right? It is really somehow advanced, okay? So, but if you don't understand this thing, don't use them, okay? They are somehow advanced. So Python will return, if you're working with the AND operator, remember, if the first one is falsy, Python will do short-circuiting evaluation. So if it's falsy, it doesn't go on to go to the next operand. So it will just return the first operand because it's falsy. But if the first operand is not falsy, all right, let's say we have 10. Since it is not falsy, Python will return the second operand, which is 6. All right. So that's what we mean here. All right. So if you don't understand what I just explained now, don't bother too much. In short, at your level, you're not supposed to be using them. Okay. They are somehow advanced. Okay. So look at it. If I'm saying print 0 and hello, all right, 0 is falsy. Since 0 is falsy, Python is going to return hello and it will print hello. All right. Print 5 and hello because 5 is not falsy. 5 is true T. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry about this, please. This one is false. 0 is false. Python will return 0. All right. That is why it will return 0. Here, 5 is true T. Since the first operand is true T, Python will return the second operand, which is hello. All right. Empty string is falsy. Since empty string is falsy, Python doesn't go on to the next operand. It will just return the empty string. Okay. Now, this Python as a string is not false, it is true because it's not an empty string. So since it's not an empty string, okay, Python, this is true T, then Python will return the second operand, okay? So why does it work like this? 0 is falsy. So since 0 is falsy, Python will return it because there's no need going to the second operand, all right? Hello is true T. Python will return so 5 and hello returns hello because that hello is true T. 5 is true T. So empty string is falsy. All right. So it will return empty string. Okay. So Python here is true T. So it will return 10. So this is something, if you don't understand it, don't worry. It can be advanced than you could handle. But if you understand it, just take your time and listen to it again, or you can reach out to us for more explanation, okay? So let's talk about the OR operator. The OR operator is a logical operator used to combine two conditions, just like the AND. But the difference here is this. It returns true if at least one of the conditions is true. Otherwise, it will return false. For the AND operator, for it to return true, both conditions have to be true for it to return true. But for the OR operator, if any of them is true, it will return true. So if you say I should come to your party, okay, let's say the school says if you pay your school fees or you pay your departmental fee, you can write your exam. So all you have to do is to make sure you pay one of them. If you pay at least one, you can write the exam. If you do not pay the two of them, you will not write the exam. But if you pay one of them, that means one of them has become true, you will write the exam. So condition 1 and condition 2, if either condition 1 or condition 2 is true, the result will be true. But for the AND operator, both of them have to be true for the result to be true. So if both conditions are false, the result will be false. If you did not pay any of the fees, whether departmental fee or your school fees, you're not going to write the exam. So you have to pay one. Okay? So the truth table is like this. True will give us true. True false will give us true. False true will give us true. Then false will give us false. Okay? So just study the truth table. The only time you get, when you're working with the OR operator, the only time you get a false value is when both conditions are false. If any of them is true, you will get true. Okay? All right. So how do you use it? All right. It's just the same way we have been using the AND operator. Check the first condition, check the second condition. If any of them is true, it will return true. All right. If both conditions are true, it will return true. If any of the conditions is true, it will return true. But if both conditions are false, because x less than 5, x is not 10 is not less than 5, which is false. Y is not 5 is not greater than 10, which is false. So both of them are false, so it will return false. Okay. The short-circuiting evaluation also happens here. Python evaluates from left to right. So if the first condition is true, for the OR operator, if the first condition is true, Python doesn't evaluate the second condition, because already once one of them is true, it will return true. So there's no need, since the first one has returned true, it will go on and return true. Excuse me. Okay, so for the AND operator, if the first condition is false, it doesn't take any, there's no need to go and evaluate the second condition in the AND operator with the AND operator. If the first condition is false, of course, it will automatically return false. For the OR operator, if the first condition is true, there's no need for it to go and check the second condition. It will just return true, because at least one of them has become true. So it also works with the non-Boolean values the way we have seen it. So if the first operand is true T, it will return the first operand. All right. If the second, there's no need. If the first operand is true T, it will return the first operand. If the first operand is false, it will return the second operand. Let me show you in code. So we have instead of using the OR, instead of doing the AND, let's do OR. So since the first one is true T, 10 is true T, it will return 10. All right, it will return 10 because the first one is true T. But if the first one is not true T, all right, it will return the second operand. All right, okay. So, but if you're doing AND now, all right, the first operand is false, it will return the first operand because it's false. It will return the first operand. But if the if the first operand is false, it will return the second operand. And if the first operand is true T, it will return it. Okay, just listen to this class again, all right? Try to understand this thing. It can be tricky, all right? But just take your time to digest it. Don't rush it. Take your time to digest it, okay? So we have some examples, the one we already had before. So you can go to these examples and evaluate them yourself. Now, because 0 is false, all right, it will return hello. If 5 here is true T, it will return 5. Empty string is false, it will return 10. So that is how it works, okay? That is how it works. 0 is false, there is no need. If it is false, it will return the second operand, all right? If it is true T, it will return the first operand, that is true T. If it is false, it will return the second operand. So that's how it works, okay? All right. So we also have the NOT operator. The NOT operator is very simple. The NOT operator negates the Boolean value. If you say not true, the value will be false. If you say not false, the value will be true. So the NOT operator is a logical operator that negates a Boolean expression. It will give you the negative, the opposite of a Boolean expression. So it returns true if the given condition is false, and false if the condition is true. So you say not condition. So if the condition is true, the not condition will return false. If the condition is false, the not condition will return true. Let me show you something. So if I have this expression, if I say not x greater than y, okay, first of all, x greater than y, what does it? X greater than y is false because 10 is not greater than y. It is false. So it will evaluate this, and then the NOT operator will not negate whatever value we get from this condition. Since we got false, the NOT operator will make it true. So if I run this, then it's going to give us true. All right. But if this expression says x is less than y, yes, x is less than y will give us true because 10 is less than 20. Then the NOT operator will negate it and to give us false. Okay. All right. So this is the truth table. If the expression is true, the NOT operator will make it false. If the expression is false, the NOT operator will make it true. Okay, so you have seen how we use it. Anything that is not true, all right, it will be false, not false, it will be false. This true can also be an expression that evaluates the true or false, and it will negate it. Okay, negating comparison, I've just shown you that. Okay, so you can see here they actually added the parentheses to make it more readable. So I can just say evaluate this first. Okay, so with this, all right, evaluate it first and negate it for me. All right, so most times when you're working with multiple operators like this, please always use parentheses to actually make it more readable. Okay, so the same thing we have here, x is less than 5. To give us false, then you negate it to give us true. Okay, so this also works with non-Boolean values. So when you say 0, non-empty string, empty list, empty dictionary, empty set, or false itself, when you use not on them, all right, they will give you true. When you use not on truth value, they will give you false. Okay, so look at it. Not 0. 0 is false. So not 0 will give us true because 0 is false. So the not will negate it to be true. None is false. Not will negate it to be true. Empty string is false. Not will negate it to be true. Empty list is false. Not will negate it to be true. So when you're working with truthy value, 5 is truthy, not to negate it to be false. Hello is truthy, not to negate it to be false. This list has some elements. It's not an empty list, not to negate it to be false. So that is it. Now let's talk about operator precedence between the and, the not, the and the. So the not operator has higher precedence than the and the or. So not has higher precedence than and has higher precedence than or. So let me show you something. If we go back now to do some, let's do this thing. Okay, if we try to do something like this now, just look at, if we try to do something like this, not then and A is equal to B, or B is greater than Y. Normally, look at what will happen. First of all, the general order of precedence is this. This logical operator has higher precedence than the not and the and everything. So these ones will be evaluated first. All right, they will be evaluated first. So let me put them in parentheses like this. Okay, then they will be evaluated first. So they will be evaluated first. So when they are evaluated, we are now going to get res is equal to not. So this x less than y, x is less than y. So x is less than y will give us true. All right. And a equal to b is false because a is not equal to b. Then or b greater than y, b is 7, y is 20, so it's also false. So this is what we'll get. All right. Then which one have higher precedence between the not and for and or? Which one has a higher precedence? This one will be evaluated next because the not has higher precedence than other ones. So we are now going to get res. Not true will give us false. Then, sorry, this will be res is equal to false and false, then or false. Okay, so this is how the evaluation is going to go. Now, the next evaluation will be and the and one because and has higher precedence than the or. So false and false will give us false, then or false. Then the final one will not give us false, or false will not give us what? False. Okay, so we expect that this result will be false. So what I'm going to do is this, I'm going to comment, let's take a look, let's see it in action. We are supposed to get false after the whole evaluation. Just follow the way I did it. Okay, so but I'm going to comment all these guys out. I will comment. I will comment them. I will comment them. Oh, sorry. So let's evaluate. Let's print our results. We are expecting false. Okay. Do you understand? So this is how it was. First of all, because these other expressions have higher precedence than the logical operators. They will be evaluated first. After the evaluation, then the NOT will not take place first. Then after the NOT takes place first, the AND operator, yes, the AND operator like this, because and will come before or, okay, and at the end of the day we got this thing. So this is what we mean by operator precedence. So when you say print not true or false, this one will be evaluated first. The not true, because not is higher than all, not true will be evaluated first, which will give us false. So false or false will give us false. Okay. When you have another one, not true or false. Now, because this true or false is in bracket, bracket will go first, the parentheses will go first. True or false will give us true. Then not true will give us false. Okay. So thank you very much. Please, if you get confused in any way, please reach out to us so that we can also explain more. All right. Make sure you do your test, and see you in the next session.